This is Cheyenne Valentine back today again with a new episode. Before I get into this video, I want to say that I do have two other videos that's coming that two subscribers wanted me to do. One's dealing with some dude off YouTube saying that black women are begging white men to date them by black women making videos saying how much non-black men want them and whatnot. And then I think the other one's going to be about men who, want you two to live together, and he wants you to split the bills and all that. So those two videos are coming, but I gotta upload this video and another one. So like I said, I'm not in the best mood today, and it's just like I just did another video that just set me off. And so, but we're gonna continue since I'm already set off, right? So this video is about when I first learned that some black men were obsessed, or that they liked non-black women. I don't know what I'm gonna name this video, but it was two situations that happened, and these two situations first taught me this. See, I did not know before these two situations happened. I did not know that some black men were so crazy about non-black women. I really didn't, and I'm gonna explain to you why I didn't know. It's because I grew up in Chicago, Illinois, and I grew up in a majority, you can say all black neighborhood, in the hood, as you say. So I just seen black men pursuing black women. I just seen black men going crazy for black women. I just saw black men being thirsty for black women. I did not have a clue that they had such a major obsession with non-black women. I did not know. So I'm going to talk about the two situations that happened that I first, realized that, wow, they are really obsessed with non-black women. And it was a surreal experience because it was embarrassing. And I'm going to tell you why it was embarrassing. So let me see which one happened first. I was quite young around at this time, between the age of 17 and 19. I was quite young. So the first situation that happened was I was in a jobs for youth program. So I had to be 18 or 19. And in this program, it was in downtown Chicago, and in the program it was for young people who were from the ages, I think, of 18 and 24, and it was to help you find a job. That's why it was called Jobs for Youth, right? And in this class, we had a teacher, and they did a resume and things like that. And in the class, it wasn't that many of us, but most of us was black, except for maybe 3 Hispanics. I know it's a Hispanic guy, Hispanic young lady, and I know that was, okay, that's 2. It might have, maybe it was 4 Hispanic people, and the rest was black. Out of maybe 20 people in the class, maybe 15 to 20 of us. And so I know in Chicago there's different parades, okay, in most cities they have different parades. You have you might have the Irish parade, or you just have different parades. So Chicago, they have the Puerto Rican parade. So I remember one day I came to, because the Jobs for Youth program was for a week, so for 5 days. So in that week, I think during that week, I think it was for 2 weeks. This was a long time ago, everyone. So I think it was either for a week or 2, but whatever. During this week or 2, the Puerto Rican parade was going on, and it was all in the news. Something had happened where some people was arrested, I think some people was arrested. A fight broke out at the parade, and it was all over the news. So all I know is that I came to the program the next day. Let's say I came to the program Wednesday. Let's say Wednesday was when all this was on the news, that the Puerto Rican parade had some issues. Some people were fighting that day and whatnot. And let's just say Thursday, because the parade usually is more than one day. I forgot how it went, but all I know is that, because I think the Puerto Rican parade actually is on a weekend. All I know that, so maybe it was that weekend, and then that Monday when I came to class, they talked about it. So, however, the day before, it was all over the news that some things had happened. Some people got arrested and whatnot. So the next day when I came to class. Like I said, it was a Hispanic girl. I remember her. She was in the classroom and people were asking her what happened at the Puerto Rican parade, because I walked in on a conversation and because I had break, when I came back in the room, they were talking about it, and they said, yeah, we saw so like I said, most people in the class was black, and they were saying, yeah, we saw on the news that people was arrested and all that, and so she said, well, you know, I was there. And everyone said, oh. And she said, yeah. And she said, what happened was the NIGGAs, the black men, basically paraphrased, but she called them NIGGA. So when she said NIGGA, I turned, because most of the people that was talking to her at this moment was black women in the room. So I looked at the women to see what was their reaction. They didn't have one. So, you know, I always kind of had this personality where I'm like, hold on, you're not going to be saying that word around. Like, hold on. But no, the teacher, like, she was talking to us and the teacher. The teacher was a black woman. She didn't blink an eye when this Hispanic woman said the NIGGA. So the first thing that bothered me. So she said, yeah, the NIGGAs was trying to get with the Spanish women, the Puerto Rican women at the parade. And she said they was all over them, grabbing on them, trying to talk to them. So she said the Puerto Rican dudes came over and had to basically get them off of their women. So I'm gonna paraphrase. I'm gonna say this again. She basically said that the black men, I don't know if they took a yellow school bus down there. I don't know if they rode their bike, because a lot of times a parade in Chicago, I think they would drive to the parade and park and then walk, or they'd just take the train or the bus a lot of times. So I don't know if these individual black men, if they took a bus or a train or a bicycle, I don't know what they did, but like I said, did 100 of them get on a yellow school bus and go down there to harass Puerto Rican women? I don't know, but she said they were down and we saw it on the news. So people got arrested. Okay, a fight broke out. She said it was the people who started the fight or who were bothering people was the black men. She said a group of black men were at the Puerto Rican parade, because she said she was there, and they were harassing and grabbing on Puerto Rican women, and the Puerto Rican men had to walk over and handle them, get them off of their women. And when she said this, I immediately felt embarrassed, and I looked at the other women in the room, and they didn't have no expression on their face. And in that moment, I'm thinking to myself, so the men that are part of my race are at instead of going to this parade to enjoy the culture, the Puerto Rican culture, to eat some good food, listen to the music, maybe bring a woman with you, or even if you wanted to meet a different race of woman, just, that's fine. But to harass these women and basically try to make them mate with you, you're gonna make them mate with you. You're gonna make them be with you. Because she let her tell her they were grabbing on them. A fight, it was on the news, and yeah. A fight did break out. So their race of men had to come over and handle these Negroes, because the Negroes was grabbing on their women. Like have you ever heard of a pack of Asian men going to the Irish parade? Or what is it called? St. Patrick's Day parade. Did I say Irish parade? It's no such thing as an Irish parade, is it? Excuse me. I think I meant to say St. Patrick's Day parade. Excuse me. Have you ever heard of them going to that type of parade and harassing white women there, Asian women? Have you ever heard of just a group of Asian men going down there? Have you ever heard of a group of white men, or even Hispanic men or Asian men, coming to the Black Expo to harass black women? See, or like I said, have you ever heard of a group of Hispanic men going to the St. Patrick's Day parade and harassing white women? You get what I'm saying? Have you ever heard of anyone doing this? But here we got a pack of bitter Bernards. Or these, you know what? Because the bitter Bernards are different than the thugs, bombs, and Carthies. These could have been the thugs, bombs, and Carthies that went down there. Because for how aggressive she said they was, these men had to get arrested. They wouldn't leave these women alone. It's one thing to walk up to a woman and say, oh, I think you're pretty, can buy you something to eat. And if she says no, and you walk away, but let her tell it. And I seen on the news, people were arrested. Let her tell it. They was grabbing on them and demanding for them to talk to them. And I believe her, because I've seen some bitter Bernards in action. Oh yeah, ladies, you've been harassed by them. They get harassed by. Hold on, I said they get harassed by them. No, I mean women, us, get harassed by these bitter Bernards. Okay, they will harass the hell out of you. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So that was the first situation where I realized it was just embarrassing that men of my race was down at a Puerto Rican parade harassing another race of women. I've never heard of any other race of men going to another race's parade and harassing their women like this. Okay, they might go to that parade and talk to the women outside their race, but I never heard of them grabbing on them and being so aggressive and forceful that the men of that race had to come over and handle them and get them off of their women. But leave it up to the bit of Bernards and the bombs, thugs and car thieves and dope boys and felons. Leave it up to them, you know. They one of a kind. So that was the first situation where I realized, I said, man, I'm like, man, some black men sure do like non-black women. You know, but I didn't know that. That was my first time. So the second incident that really confirmed it. So if you all, like I've said in many of my videos, I went to a majority Hispanic high school. I'm going to tell you how many Hispanics it was. It was so many Hispanics that at our prom, they played Spanish music. So that lets you know that they played Spanish music throughout the whole prom. Because it was a majority Hispanic high school, and literally blacks there made up maybe 5%, maybe 1% of the population at that high school. So I want to put this into context. So that's why I'm very comfortable around Hispanics. I love their culture. You know, I don't put them above anybody. I don't think they're better than anybody, but I'm comfortable around Hispanic men and everything, Hispanic women, because I'm just, you know, I think it's because I went to high school around them. And they're people like anybody else, right? We all humans, no matter what color we are. So I befriended a young lady named Maria. I went over her house for Thanksgiving. I was around her. She actually liked a friend of mine. He was black. She liked him. They went on a date. I had no problems with it. I was like, oh, but the crazy part about it was he kind of liked me and went on a date with me, but I didn't want to tell her. I knew she liked them, and I wanted him to be with her because, like I said, I didn't have a problem with interracial dating, even seeing black guys dating interracially when I was younger, because, well, when I was young like that, I didn't have a problem with it until I started seeing them talking trash about black women and stuff like that. Then I started a problem with it. But in the beginning, when I was younger, by me going to school like that, I seen maybe a couple black guys date interracially, and I seen a couple black women date interracially. So I was used to seeing black women and black men do it. So I didn't well, it was definitely more black men doing it than black women, but in the school, it wasn't. In the school, you really didn't see, I'm gonna be honest with you though, you didn't see that much interracial dating at that high school. I knew one black girl that dated Hispanic guy and and two black guys that dated Hispanic women. It wasn't that much, to be honest with you, interracial dating. And my friend Maria, she liked this black guy I was friends with. So anywho, she tried to hook me up with a Hispanic guy. I mean, like I said, this is how it was, you know. So I was used to, you know, I didn't have a problem with the interracial dating thing. So we were hanging out, and by me hanging out with her, I was able to see how black men reacted to non-black women. Because understand, when you're a black woman living in an all-black area around black men, you don't see how they interact with non-black women. You don't know that they're obsessed with them. You have no way of knowing that. And it's not all black men. I said some. So by me hanging out with her, I got a glimpse. So one day, I was over her house, and she was Mexican, but her lady she worked with came over to the house, and the girl was Puerto Rican. Now my friend Maria, she was Mexican. She had a little bit of color to her, you know, not dark skin, but she, you know, she just had a little bit of color to her. And the other girl that came over was really pale. She happened to be Puerto Rican. So the other girl had a car, and she said, well, Maria asked her, because she dropped me off at home, and the girl said, yeah, I could drop her off. So mind you, this was Chicago, okay? It you know, all the blacks stayed on one side of town, all the Hispanics stayed on the other side. So when I was spending the night over her house. She would leave me at her house while she would go to work. Like, we were close, okay? So in the area she stayed, it was all Hispanic. So keep that in mind. There was no blacks over there. So when they dropped me off at my house, it's all blacks over there. Now at this time, it wasn't a lot of Hispanics at all over in the all black area. So I was in the back seat, but I had the windows up for some reason, and they were in the front seat. They had their windows down, and her friend had her arm, you know, outside the window. So this was a busy day. I think this was the weekend, and we were in traffic basically, and the street was crowded. A lot of people were outside, and you had some bitter Bernards standing outside, or dope boys, whichever one they were, outside, you know, standing outside. It was about 3 of them standing outside of a restaurant at the corner. And we were in traffic, but we were not at a red light or anything, but it was a lot of traffic. So we were kind of at a standstill slightly. And I was behind my friend. She was in the passenger side. I was behind her, sitting behind her. And it was the driver. Like I said, the driver was Puerto Rican. She was real light. And my window was lit up. So the Bitter Bernards, they couldn't see me in the back seat because the window was lit up. All I know is we're in traffic and you just hear them saying Baikwa, whatever. They were saying something, I can't remember exactly what they said, as far as I just know they let her know that they was talking to her because she was Spanish. They were saying Puerto Rican mommy or something like that. And she turned, because they were on our left side, and she turned, and her and my friend turned to look at them because they turned to the left, and the guys was on across the street on the left side. Mind you, this is a two-way busy street. This is how thirsty they was. They was about to almost chase the car. Like, they were walking towards traffic, and they were like, Puerto Rican mommy. They said something like that. Then they said, Puerto Rican mommy, what's up, sexy? I mean, just, and I'm looking stunned like, what the fuck? I'm just, y'all, I'm in shock. Because mind you, it's not like they were walking past them. They were in a car, in a vehicle, in traffic. But the guys could just see them, you know, because the guys were standing at the corner in front of a restaurant. They, what's up, Baikwa? Puerto Rican mommy. I mean, just like, y'all, they literally was about to chase the car down. Well, they didn't have to even chase it because we were moving very slow. At one point, we was at a standstill. I almost told them, can you pull the car over so I can get out? Go into the store, get some Gatorade, and then pour it on them, because they was thirsty. Okay? And so my Mexican friend and a Puerto Rican friend, you know, just smiled at them and laughed to themselves. And I sat in that back seat, and I just felt it's just this surreal feeling that came over me. I was so embarrassed. Because who stands at the corner and sees people in traffic and yell at them and try to get a number with a person in traffic, and all because this person is pale? Because she was real light. When they seen that pale skin, that straight black hair, they lost it, y'all. Excuse my language, but they went ape shit. They lost it. See, I honestly, like I said, I grew up in an all black area, so I never seen some black men interact with non-black women. I didn't see that. I didn't know how they felt about them. I literally didn't. But as we can see, fast forward, I'm 34 now, and that happened, I was like between 18 or 19. No, between 17 and 19. You can only imagine. No, I was over 18, because the Jaws for Youth incident happened before, and then this one, so I probably was around 19. So this should show you, you know, that, let me go back. Now, when that happened, like I said, that was the second time, my second situation where I seen, realized, it basically took those 2 times for me to realize, that some of these black men are obsessed with non-black women. And like I said, growing up in an all-black area, I was used to seeing black men interact with black women. I did not know they had an obsession with non-black women. And like I was trying to say, fast forward now to me being 34, as we can see how it has manifested. They always had those feelings for non-black women, but now with social media and now interracial dating is, more accepted. Now you really seeing their true colors coming out. They've been feeling like this. I mean, I grew up in the 90s. They've been feeling like this, okay? Now it's manifested. Now you're really seeing the results of it. Okay, and y'all, it just sitting in the backseat of that car and seeing men of my race act like that, and I knew it was because of their race. I knew they were acting like that towards these women because of the color of their skin. Because they said it's like Baikwa, mommy, Puerto Rican mommy. I mean, they were going crazy. All because she was pale with straight hair. Because had there been a black woman, a pretty black woman in the car, they see pretty black women all the time. They wouldn't have acted like that. They wouldn't have. Okay? So I'm saying, I did not even know they were into non-black women like that. I didn't have a clue. I grew up in an all-black area. I did not know. Now I knew that men like women and women like men, and don't really matter race, but I didn't know, like, it was all like, you guys do not understand how aggressive they was towards these women. And I know it's because of they were Hispanic. They were saying, it's, oh, Baikwa, mama, mamacita, and they were walking towards the street. We're in the car, and like I said, my friend and her friend was looking at them smiling, and they was looking at each other. I mean, it just boosted their ego so much, you all. They felt like $1,000,000 because these bitter Bernards at the corner yelling at them. Somebody much they want to get with them. And I'm in the back seat, and when they dropped me off, I just said, see y'all later. And I just was embarrassed. I was quiet. I was mute. I didn't have anything to say. I was just stunned. I had never seen black men interact with non-black women, so I didn't know that they liked them that much. I didn't have a freaking clue. I thought they liked black women, so shit, I didn't know. Come to find out, they just like any woman that's convenient, that's in their face. That's how most bitter Bernards are. If you there, they want you. That's all there is to it. Don't matter your race, as long as you there. They prefer non-black though. Like to do something to get some money, but see, long they have no, like with them, that's why they'll sleep with anybody. Like they have no penis discipline, so it's just kind of like, if you're there, they'll take you. Okay, so yeah, I just wanted to come in and say this real quickly. I didn't mean for this video to be 20 minutes, but yeah, y'all, I cannot explain to you how that felt. It was just, I felt more embarrassed. Y'all, I might not be explaining this right, but you should have seen how they were acting, and they did not see me in the back seat. So I'm not saying if they saw me they would have not did that. I don't know, but they didn't know a black woman was in the car. Put it to you like that. And they, Mamacita, Puerto Rican mommy, Mamacita, what's going on, mommy? What's going on, mommy? Well, can I get the numbers, mommy? Mommy, can I get the number, mommy? Walking towards traffic, about to get hit. They was thirsty. They was thirsty. Okay, it was unbelievable. I was stunned. I was embarrassed. They boosted the hell out of my friend and her friend's ego. I'm looking at them, if they like, they smiling like, we know we all that. I just was, I didn't know what to say. I've never, y'all, they went ape shit when they seen that pale skin, that straight hair. So that's the end of my little semi story time. That was my experience, y'all, when I finally realized that these bitter Bernards was obsessed with non-black women.